Hi, this is Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about how do you know you have angels around you. Now, we usually have angels around us, but sometimes we have more angels than we normally do. Sometimes we have archangels that have come in to assist or help us with something else, or if you've been calling them in and kind of like, help me with this situation or help me with this event or whatever it is, this is a great way to know that they're around you. So kind of the number one thing is, for me, I usually get warm. I don't mean like I'm having a hot flash, because that could happen. But it's not talking about that. Kind of like all of a sudden I'll get like a warm feeling, and usually it kind of feels like not being like hot or in a warm room or something like that. It has like a very special energy to it. It's kind of almost like tingles that you're warm. Maybe your hands tingle or your shoulders. But I will tell you, there's going to be a very, very, very slight warm temperature. Because a lot of times people say, like, if they felt a ghost, they can feel that coolness. Well, that's because a ghost has to like pull the heat or the energy from other things around it. That's why they zap your camera batteries or your phone battery or lights or anything like that. But angels don't require that. Kind of like they're empowered by our Creator, so they don't require that. So they always have this little bit of a warmth energy to them. And I will tell you, it's almost like a very pleasant feeling of just like having them around, kind of like, oh, they're around me. They're around me, and they are kind of letting you know that, like, I'm here. You've called me in, and I'm definitely here. Kind of the next one is really cool. Is kind of sometimes like you'll find feathers. You can find feathers of any color. Sometimes it is kind of like just a hello, we're here. Sometimes it's like, hey, you've asked for something. But a lot of times, like, you'll just see like a feather. And of course, birds drop feathers all the time. But this sometimes is like you've asked for a sign. Like, I want a sign that you're here. And then all of a sudden you'll see a feather. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is really, really like a cool one. Now, the next one, number 3, is kind of the one I kind of see more than anything else. So for me, I get flashes of light. I see like sparkles, almost like a sparkler, but there's no sparkled, like there's not sparkly. It's just kind of like that image. If you just took the center of a sparkler, that flame, that's what I see a lot. And then you can also see spirit orbs. And this is a sign usually around your home or kind of like where you're at, kind of like when you get a chance. And they'll be all around you. And it's almost like, at first, when I first started seeing them when I was a kid, I thought they were like a firefly or something like that. And they're not. It's not that yellowy green color. This is a pure white. And usually, if it's an archangel, they'll come in and they'll be a little bit bigger, kind of like diameter. But I will also tell you, they will also kind of show you their color. So like for Archangel, you might see like a blue. For Ariel, you might see like a red or a pinkish color. So they're kind of letting you know, like, I'm here and who am I? So that is a really great one. And they really can get caught up being caught on camera. If you have security systems or something like that, a lot of times like you'll see them, and you can even have them in a photograph. Sometimes you can see those orbs in or the sparkles in a picture that you've taken. That's kind of a really cool one. Kind of the next one is kind of one that I deal with at times. Is kind of, I will get like a tingly feeling or a kind of like a tingle vibration energy, usually in like my arms, sometimes like past my knees, kind of down in my calves and my feet. And I will get this like tingly feeling. And I will tell you, usually it also comes in with this amazing energy of just like feeling like loved and supported. And it's just like, it is like an amazing common, like, kind of sign that they're around, of just like that tingly feeling. But I will tell you, almost like that blissful kind of like just energy. And a lot of times people kind of overlook this, or they kind of like don't really pay attention to it. And that's where it's kind of like, if you've been calling them in, these are some of the signs that they're going to be telling you, like, we're here. Kind of the number 4 sign is your angels and guides will try to talk to you. And sometimes when they first come in, it may sound like someone's talking in the next room and you're kind of like, am I hearing something? Am I hearing something? And you may hear voices kind of like muffled in the other room, like talking. And if you go in there, there's no one in there. But it also doesn't have like an energy signature that's bad in any way. You walk in there and you're just like, I feel at peace. I feel harmony. I feel like relaxed and easy energy. And that's kind of the best way to do it. And a lot of times when I tell people, when you're feeling that, kind of the best part to do is kind of take a few deep breaths. When you feel this energy of kind of like, and ask your angels and guides, please tell me again. Tell me whatever you said. I didn't hear you. And that is a great way to kind of like, yes, they're sending you a sign. Kind of my next big one is music. Now, I'm not musical, and if people know me, they know I'm not musical at all. But sometimes when the angels are around me, I will hear singing, and I'll start singing it, and people will just kind of look at me. And sometimes it's just like a song. Sometimes it's a song that I grew up singing in church. Sometimes it can just be like a hum or that kind of energy, and it kind of always like suits the situation of like calming me down, relaxing me, that sort of thing. And it's usually kind of that clairaudient, kind of like you're picking up on something, but it's kind of like that very peaceful, soft, easy music that just kind of like letting you know that they're here, letting you know that they're around. Kind of the next one is, and I hear this from a lot of people, is they will send birds in to say hi to you. Usually they are very colorful birds, and you know what I'm saying, so a lot of times people tell me like robin, redbreast, blue jays, that sort of thing, but it can really be any bird. And usually what's kind of like you'll notice about it is that they will come in really, really close to you, and they're not afraid of you. They'll just like come in within like a foot or two and just kind of hover for a moment, and then they'll leave. And one of those, it's kind of like just usually symbology of kind of like we've got wings, we can move around. I also hear this a lot from people that have had family members that have passed, usually in the previous couple of weeks or so, that the bird will come and just kind of hover for a moment and then they'll leave. And a lot of times after that, they'll kind of like, I felt like my mom or my dad had just passed, you know, kind of like with me, or that energy. So it's kind of like you'll just feel their energy around you of kind of like letting you know, like, hey, just want to let you know I'm here, I made it, I'm okay. So they kind of bring in that energy, and it can be, like I said, usually like robins or blue jays. Sometimes it can kind of be doves from time to time, but I will say that for the most part, what I normally hear and I've seen is robins and blue jays. So that's kind of like, yay. The next one are butterflies. Butterflies can be just literally a straight off, like no playing around sign that like your angels and guides are with you. Especially if they kind of hover close to you. Like I said, like the bird, like they're going to be like really close to you. When I was in Belize a while back, I literally had a group of butterflies that just kept hovering around me. And it was interesting because I was with a couple of other people. We were walking a direction, and I kind of took off one direction. I wanted to see something, so I kind of went off the path a little bit. And all the butterflies, there was like 6 of them hanging around me. And they were like, why are these butterflies hanging around you? And I was like, oh, I know. It's my angels and guides and letting me know that I'm protected and that I'm safe. And it was just kind of one of those, because we were in a place that I want to say like didn't feel safe, but I will say that there's a lot of people around, and kind of like you're okay. You've got all this energy around you. So that's kind of one of those fun, easy energies that can have around you. And then usually within about a few minutes to like 10 or 15 minutes, they'll just kind of like wander on off, and it's kind of like, yay, I have a message from them. Kind of my last one is, or my last two, is like coins and pennies. A lot of times people will find pennies and coins, and it's from family members that have passed, kind of like, you know, someone passed, grandpa passed or whatever else, and they'll put pennies in your way. But a lot of times it could be an angel. So if you pick up that penny and kind of just what was the energy on it, and a lot of times I will get like a very calm, peaceful energy. Not necessarily picking up on like mom energy or dad energy or grandma or grandpa or anything like that. It'll just be like a very calm, peaceful energy. And usually that's a sign sign from your angels and guides that there is some money coming your direction, some kind of financial gain in some way, and that it's coming in, and that good luck is coming in around your finances. So that's kind of like, yay. Now, for me, the most common one is I get goose pimples all up and down my arms, and they stay for a long period of time. It's not just like, oh, they're there for 30 seconds or a minute or something like that. I will literally have goose pimples up and down my arm for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Like, that doesn't mean like a long period of time. And so that is kind of one of those interesting ways. And everybody kind of connects with their angels and guides a little bit differently. So know that once you kind of figure out what the way they're connecting to you is, that's the way they're going to show you, like, hey, I'm here. I do have some people that have some that are kind of like more uncommon ways. So one of my friends and clients, literally gets overwhelmed, and she will kind of start to cry, and it's not like she's sad or angry or anything else. It's kind of like just like she's overwhelmed by the energy, the peace, the love, the calmness. It's like, oh my goodness. She'll usually start to tear up for a little period of time. And so that's kind of one of those like special ways that she knows her archangels and angels are around her and kind of giving her a little boost of energy around her. So I think that's kind of one of those special ways that they're telling you that we're here. We're telling you that we have this information for you, or telling you that we are here around you. So let's do some angel cards. And these are literally archangel cards. So I'm going to see what our archangels, if they have any messages for us. Those are always like really fun. So let's see. This one is coming up first, and this is Archangel Michael, and it's called You Are Safe, and it's all about protection and against like lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones in your home. So that's kind of like a super special one. Love Archangel Michael, and I work with Archangel Michael quite a lot when I am teaching my clients and students on protection of energy. This one is Archangel Metatron. Love Archangel Metatron. This is all about prioritize and kind of focus on your highest priorities, and I will give you help to get organized and motivated. Yes. The next one is this one's Archangel Ariel, and this is all about being courageous and standing for what your beliefs are. So that is a really special one, and I think that's kind of when they come to us, is when we kind of feel like, that dark night of the soul, kind of like things are getting overwhelming. They're going to come to you. This one is very beautiful. This is Archangel Azrael, and this is all about being a natural counselor and helping people, kind of like benefiting from your guidance and your reassurance. So this is a really, really special one. And I think that's kind of the special part about connecting with our archangels, is kind of getting those special messages just for you to know that they're around. That's kind of a special one. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.